Welcome back to the Thrifty Food Plan channel, friends. If you're new here, my name is Jay, and I am going to go over a community informed meal plan. I did a pantry inventory video a couple of weeks ago, which I will link above and below, and asked the community for all of your ideas about what I could eat based on what I have. I also will link in the description below sort of a spreadsheet to my pantry inventory. Just a note here that I am mostly a whole food plant-based vegan. That said, my oncology nutritionist has asked me to add some dairy, eggs, and a little bit of fish back into my diet. If you are wondering why I'm using the word oncology, I'll link to a recent update to the community above and below. Anyway, let's get into the meal plan, and then I'm going to share 2 of the pantry dinners, lunches that I made. So let's get to it. All right, let's take a look at this meal plan inspired by many viewers like you. So for breakfast, based on what I have in the pantry, fridge, and freezer, I will be able to make smoothies. I've got frozen bananas, frozen strawberries. I have frozen spinach, certainly have water. I have peanut butter. So Amber and Jean, I am going to eat some smoothies this week. I've got oats in the cabinet, so I always can have some oats. I can eat that with some of the apples I have, for example. Amber, Jean, and B, you all suggested myriad egg dishes, and I do have eggs in the refrigerator. So eggs definitely will be in my future. For snacks, I've got plenty of fruit. I've got those yogurts. I can have hard-boiled eggs. Um, I think I'm going to make some homemade lemon hummus. I haven't made that in a really long time, and it used to be kind of a staple in my diet. I'll link the recipe to that above and below. I can have that with carrot sticks or with crackers. And I've got some popcorn in the pantry. I can air pop and have that with a little bit of nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is not recommended for vegan beginners. Those of you out there in the world, if you are not a vegan or if you're a beginner vegan or beginner vegetarian, don't do nutritional yeast. Just do it with some butter. All right, for lunches, I'm going to try to eat up some of those faux chicken tenders that are in the freezer, and I can have that with broccoli or sautéed spinach, which I also have in the freezer. Felicia and Gina recommended that I make kind of a faux tuna salad, a faux chickpea salad. I do have everything to make that. It's delicious. I've made it before. Thank you for reminding me about that option, and I will try to find one of the places where I have recorded that before for the community, and I'll post a link above or below. Delona recommended that I take I have these 3 frozen bags of like a quinoa blend in the freezer. I don't know which of my caregivers bought those, but I do need to eat them up. And Delona suggested that I bulk that up with some beans and then serve it over a sweet potato. So I'm definitely going to try that. Sounds delicious. Obviously, I also can eat leftovers for lunch. So on the dinner menu, spaghetti and faux meatballs. Diane, Amber, and Jean all recommended that. I did eat that already kind of when I did the pantry inventory, so I'll link that video above or below. Catherine and Carrot Top recommended that I do a tofu stir fry. Definitely going to do that. Lona suggested I do a chili because I've got lots of things I can make chili with, including kind of a boxed cornbread, and I'm definitely going to make chili. And then Anna, whose recipes I have used before, Anna, you recommended that I kind of think about making a vegan or vegetarian shepherd's pie with all the things that I had. I am not a big lover of the shepherd's pie, but your comment for some reason, because I think shepherd's pie typically has carrots in it, and also you use the word mash and when you were talking about the shepherd pie, it made me think about carrot soup. And so I am going to try to make a carrot soup. I probably haven't made carrot soup in 25 years. I'm going to give it a try. And I may also try to make some homemade bread. I don't have any yeast though, so it'll be a dense bread if I make it. But this is the meal plan that I came up with thanks to input from all of you. Thank you so very much for your help putting this together. You know, given my health situation, it is really helpful to me to have suggestions to help me get organized in my own head about what's possible. So my sincere thanks to each of you. So let's take a look at what I ate today based on the meal plan. And then I'm going to profile two of the dinners that I made, not just one. So let's take a look. Good morning, friends. I am just going to whip up a smoothie this morning with freezer items mostly. Spinach, frozen bananas, frozen strawberries, and then I am going to put in this tub of Greek plain non-fat yogurt. For the vegans out there, don't have to use the yogurt. You could put some soy milk in, kind of whatever floats your boat, or some vegan yogurt if you have it. But I got to get my protein in per the nutritionist. So this is what I am going to have for breakfast. I also added in some flax, but here is my breakfast. Yummy, yummy. If you just happen to be a longtime viewer of this channel, one of the things that I love to make is some homemade lemon hummus, and I will link the recipe above and below. I've made a separate video about it. And then I'm just gonna peel up some of these carrots and have those to snack on with my homemade hummus. So this is a pantry snack with what I have in the pantry, fridge, and freezer. Yummy, yummy. There is some homemade hummus, probably a cup at least, and carrot sticks. Yummy, yummy. Pantry using what I have snack. All right, so I'm gonna make some stir fry for dinner tonight, and one of the first things I need to do is to prep my tofu. So I'm gonna take it out of the package, wrap it in some paper towels, and try to get as much of the moisture out as possible. And then I will cube it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make kind of a marinade for it. And I probably will use some of the marinade as well to when I make the stir fry later tonight. So I have orange juice in the fridge. I'm not a big orange juice drinker, but I'm gonna pour 1 cup of orange juice into my little bell jar here. To that, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of tahini. I'm also going to add a tablespoon of soy sauce. It is stir fry after all. I'm not above licking the spoon. All right. So, best thing about using a bell jar or a ball jar is you can just shake everything up. Looks like my lid isn't on as tightly as it needs to be. But this is gonna be my marinade for the tofu and also my marinade for the stir fry. All right, so I've got my tofu wrapped up in some paper towels. Just gonna let it sit for a minute, get as much of the water out as possible. And from the fridge, because this is a fridge, freezer, and pantry eating bonanza, I've pulled out this broccoli, which is like, if I don't eat it today, it's not gonna be edible. And it looks like I've got about 1/2 of a red pepper, and I've got 1/2 of an onion that was already in the fridge, so I need to chop these things up. And I've got some rice that will go in the rice cooker. And again, there's my marinade for both my tofu and later on for my stir fry. Yummy, yummy. Right, I got my rice going in the rice cooker. I have got my marinated tofu on a baking sheet. I'm gonna put it in the oven and bake it at probably 375 for 20 minutes or as long as it takes the rice to cook. Sometimes rice takes a long time to cook here. I've got my veg chopped up, but before I put my veg in, I am gonna steam this broccoli because broccoli takes a little bit longer. And when everything gets ready, I've got my sauce ready to go. Dinner is on its way. All right, so I just poured a little bit of the marinade in here, and I'm gonna let it like cook down just so the flavor gets on it, and then I'm gonna rinse and repeat with what I have left in there. It's going to be delicious. Okay, party people, my dinner is ready. I have a giant bowl of stir fry. I've got a big serving left over for lunch or dinner. And then I have a little bit of rice left over, probably one serving for a human. The dog is coming, I think tomorrow. So I do, kind of bulk up her dog kibble with rice. So I'll eat it or the dog will eat that extra serving of rice. And this is my dinner. Yummy, yummy. All right, a pantry meal at its finest. And I'm only gonna make 2 to 3 servings of this, and I can do that just because of the way I've got my ingredients here. So I'm going to use probably 2 cups of this vegetable broth, a can of kidney beans, one of the little jars of tomato sauce. I'll chop up some onion, a little bit of corn, a little bit of boga grounds. I'm going to sneak greens in as always, and I'll probably use about 2 teaspoons of this chili sauce. Make some corn muffins to go with it. And this is what I will be eating for a little bit. Okay, I did end up adding an extra can of beans. So I'm gonna have more than 2 or 3 servings for sure. I'll have at least 4. So here's what's in the pot. Here's what's in my bowl for lunch. And cornbread. I already ate one. By the way, instead of using oil to make these muffins or butter or anything like that, I used some applesauce, so they'll be a little extra sweet. Yummy, yummy. Also, you can use flax eggs. All right, bye. All right, friends, so that is what I have been up to with the meal plan, and I will continue to eat through the meal plan over the coming days. Do take a look at the spreadsheet that's linked below. That sort of catalogs sort of everything in my fridge, freezer, and pantry, and what I'm trying to eat through and eat based off of sort of until the college phenom gets home in a couple of days, at which point it's likely I will do a little grocery haul because, there are things that I'll want to get her to spoil her. And anyway, please take a look at that spreadsheet because I'd appreciate, any and all ideas as I continue to eat through the fridge, freezer, and pantry. Thank you so, so much for visiting. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hope to see you in a couple days.